What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Thingos back again, TGTV, with my boy Cody Collins. It's been a minute, man. I swear I haven't had you on a live stream in a minute, man. I miss having you on here.
And
You
life
know,
has
we
been
always,
crazy, but I'm glad to be back.
yeah, man, we always have good back and forth talking about Invincible, the comics, the show, what have you. And really just other stuff we're interested in, man. We done talked about comic book movies, shows, and all that. So, it's just good to have you back on the show. I'm coming back full effect, bringing you all a lot of content, as much as I can, as quick as I can. And we about to start back with these live streams, man. So, coming
There
back
you go.
in today, what we want to talk about, Invincible, Season 2. It's a lot of news that has dropped within the following weeks, my boy. I'm not gonna lie, Comic Con, and we ate good. We ate good at Comic Con. They dropped a lot of stuff.
Yes, we
You
did.
know what I'm saying? They dropped a lot of stuff. I wasn't expecting, what I'm saying, Robert to just like blow his load in the way that he did, bro. Like, we got a little spoiled by Robert standards. I still feel like maybe we could have got a little bit more stuff, but it is what it is. I'm happy with what we got, you know. And we got an actual date. We got an actual premiere date for the season, November. You know what I'm saying? Was it November 2nd, November 3rd? Is one of those.
Third. It's November 3rd.
Okay, November 3rd. That's yeah. But what you think about that though, man? About the news that dropped at Comic Con, man? How you felt about the mobile game, the release date, the teaser trailer? Tell me like what's your thoughts on that, man?
I was not expecting that much. I knew for sure we were going to get a trailer, and I knew for sure we were going to get a release date. I was not expecting the Adam Eve special to drop the way it did. I was not
That
expecting
that that was a bro. That
that was
was
out of
like
left field.
yeah, that's the best one. Honestly, that drop, like how it just came out like that, I wasn't expecting that at all. Cause see, when I heard about it, I was thinking like it was like a trailer, like or like an announcement. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like that we was, and I'm just like, oh, that's cool. But then when I found out it was out, like the same, I was just like, wait, what? You like bro. Matter of fact, you know what? I gotta appreciate you so much. You know what I'm saying? Got to give Cody his props, ladies and gentlemen. He actually is the reason why I was able to partake in watching the Adam Eve special because my account wanted to act fucking weird, so I wasn't able to log into it. So I actually had to use his information to watch it. And once again, man, you are goated for lending me your
Dude, far be
information.
it from me to keep someone from watching Invincible.
Man, look, and I swear I'm like the number one person on the planet that need to watch it. Like this is
Exactly.
TG, this is TGTV. Invincible was made for me. You already know what time it is, man. If it's Invincible, then I gotta be right there. You know what I'm saying? While I'm blowing a little smoke in the air, you know. But I'm taking this to the face. I don't think I want to share. I'm sitting there rhyming like I don't care. Let me stop,
There
man.
you go.
Yeah, yeah. Look, come on now. We got the mobile game. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna get this out the way real quick because I don't want to spend too much time on it. That shit kind of pissed me off, bro. Like I'm, a mobile game. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. I mean, like maybe I'm just getting a little like I wasn't expecting a game anyway. So you know what I'm saying. Maybe I'm being a little picky, but a mobile game. Like I would have preferred like a little simple beat 'em up or something. Maybe a downloadable title, like
I
but
think
a
that there's going to be
mobile
more to
game,
come down the
bro?
road. I don't
Yeah,
think
yeah,
this is going to
no,
be the only game we ever get. I mean, we're
it's
already
definitely
getting
not
Omni
gonna be.
Man and Homelander in Mortal Kombat for one. So
Yeah,
I think we're going to get. I think honestly, if Invincible does well in the future seasons, I don't see a full like Invincible like Dragon Ball level fighting game not happening. I could definitely see that happening.
bro. Like you know what I would actually like to see though, like on some real shit. Like people are always so like concerned with like open world or like just a standard 2D fighter or something like that. I would actually prefer if they made just a very good like character action game like akin to Devil May Cry or something like a nice like over the top combat system, hack and slash, really just highlights the destruction and the speed of the characters. You can like chain together a lot of crazy combos. maybe like an old school scoring system at the end of every level, so you can replayability, you can get used to the combos, go back, replay the level, try to get a higher score over the top boss battles that take up the entire screen. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about right there, bro. Like they could really go over the top with that. With all the lore and all the stuff that happened in Invincible, they could really go crazy with that. That's
They
just
could.
me. You know what I'm saying? That's the type of game I would like to see. But of course, I know people want to fly around and all this stuff. And I'm not saying you wouldn't be able to fly in there, but I feel like more focused games that aren't so concerned with giving you like a big world to explore, they can do a lot more with that. Like I love to use Max Payne 3 as an example. Rockstar, that game was not open world at all, and that's one of the most detailed, funnest third person shooter games I've ever played in my life. You know what I'm saying? So Vision or Vison or Vision or Vison or Vision. I don't know how to pronounce it, but how you doing? What's up? It's good to see. I'm glad you joined. It's so good to be back. Cody, say what's up to Vision, Hausen. You
Hello,
know,
Vision, 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 Vision.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But here we go. Let's talk more about this Adam Eve episode because, like you said, it came out of nowhere. Straight up, man. What's the first thing that come to your mind when you saw this episode, bro?
um,
I felt like it was more like a movie, but yeah, like what
yeah,
you think?
it felt like more of like a it kind of like a short movie. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
really good. I think they upped it on the animation. I think there was a lot more like heart put into it. Um,
And you've read the
I thought the
comic, right?
soundtrack was really good as well. What's
Because
up?
you've read the original comic, right? That is based off.
Upon my second viewing, me and my buddy Will, Mr. Awesome, who hangs out with us here sometimes, we actually had the comic open alongside the book, and there was so much more added to the book that it was hard to. There was, I mean, so much more added to the special that it was
Mm,
hard to like parse what the differences were because it was just like so much
yeah.
more content added.
Uh-huh. But like that's nice that you actually did that because you could actually directly see, you know what I'm saying, the differences and stuff. See now when I read the comic, I actually made a video on my channel previously, like where I actually opened up the comic book and I was like diving in there and I was like reading it, going through the details, really breaking it down, stuff like that. And I thought that was cool, like how they did the additions, man, because they didn't add too much, but they added like enough where they needed to. You know what I'm saying? And it just like, for example, I didn't expect them to even put the scene in there when the babysitter was gonna see like, you know what I'm saying, that she was good with like knowing all that stuff about atoms and physics and science and all that stuff. Like
Yeah,
I didn't
that
think
was
it was,
really cool.
yeah,
I
I didn't
loved
think they
that.
was gonna put that because I remember that scene in the comics, right? But I didn't know they was even gonna put the scene in the show and let alone go into more detail with it. Like they actually
Yeah,
displayed how impressed the kid was, and he actually went to tell the parents, like, "Man, your kid's smart." Woo. It didn't even go that far in the comics, so that was just like a little small addition that I noticed, and I liked how they did it. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. I thought it was really cool how they went into specific detail about how her powers work and how her brain worked before her powers manifested. Because
Yeah.
rushed that in the comic, but in the show they took time. They showed how like smart she was. Like she was writing down physics symbols and shit like when she was a toddler. And
Yeah,
then like
that
that
was
was just so cool.
she was very smart at a very young age. And hold on a second here. Let me look at some of these messages. Mr. Awesome Gaming, yes sir. What's going on, my boy? How you
My
doing?
buddy
We
William,
got Jim John Bob. I know
and
that
that's my
guy.
buddy Jacob.
Okay, what's going on, man? How y'all doing, man? We got let's see, what's going on? Mr. Awesome says I feel like the Lizard League could play a role in season two. Are you serious? Of course they are. Do you know what's gonna happen in season two? In season two, bro, we are going to get the awesome fight scene that is Rexplode and the rest of the Guardians versus the Lizard League. In this fight scene, spoiler alert, I don't care. Y'all know what y'all signed up for. But no, in this fight, the entire Guardians pretty much get wiped out, bro. Like Duplicate gets killed for the most part. What you call it? The little shrinking Ray character.
Yeah, Shrinking
Uh,
Ray. Yeah,
yeah.
She gets eaten alive.
gets eaten by Komodo dragon. I'm just like, oh my lord.
She gets
But in the
popped like a fucking pill. He just goes, oh.
yeah, but in the comic though, it's actually a male who plays
Yeah.
Shrinking Ray. But still, he got eaten. And yeah, it's like they were just killing them left and I think they was the only ones that did it because Robot was doing something else at the time. So they was kind of split and Rex was leading the team. But yeah, they got wiped out, man. And he ended up being the last one left and he was fighting the rest of he fought the little iguana bitch and he fought Komodo and he fought him by himself and he took him out barely with the skin of his teeth. And then it was like an epic moment where he had one hand left because I remember he had he actually made a bomb in his hand and Komodo Dragon had bit his hand off thinking like, oh, you so weak, but the bomb actually detonated and blew his head off. That was like
Yes.
so awesome. I was just like,
I
oh my
loved that.
god, Rex, bro, I love you. And then the iguana bitch, I forgot how he took her out, but I remember he took her out. And then I remember the leader of the Lizard League, bro. He came up behind him with the strap, trying to shoot him in the back of the head on some bitch shit. And he turned around so fast and still was able to beak up, back up, pook up, and you know what I'm saying, hit him one good time, knock him out. And he won the day, bro. But he still got shot directly in the forehead, bro. That's what made that whole scene so epic. Rex got shot directly in the forehead. I thought he was gone. The next comic, he just in the hospital, chilling, drinking a juice box, talking to Adam Eve with a scar on his forehead, like a little X band-aid. I'm like, bro, how did you live? What? You know what I'm saying? Like, he solidified himself. He became official at that point, bro. I can't wait to
Yeah,
see that.
for sure. Well,
Like
it was
if
before
y'all
that they never solidified his that he even had a healing factor. So that was
like
legitimately shocking on the
bro,
page.
like not even just that. It's just like his skill alone, because it's like he's such a jokester, right? They always do characters like that, but it's like
But yeah, that's
they really displayed how his skill and how he can be serious when he wants to be. And I feel like they already slightly did that in season one, in the fight that involved a machine head and battle beast and
Battle
all
Beast and
that.
all that.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Because you saw he took the lead then, and then everybody just started like going crazy and working in tandem together, and they was able to push him back. So I like how that happened. You know what
that
I'm saying?
was
So
that was honestly I don't know if I that might be my favorite fight in the whole season,
they
even more
added
so
a
than
lot to
than
that
the one with
fight
Omni
too.
Man.
They added a lot to that fight too, man. Like I
Yeah.
read that in the comic and then went back and watched the episode, and I was like, man, they really added a lot to that.
Dude, everything they added with Titan and Machine Head and everything is just so much fucking better in the show.
Yeah, man. And
God,
bro, like back on the episode, like speaking of fight scenes being better, bro, the fight between the other phases and Adam Eve on that bridge at
dude,
the end of the bruh, like that was
that
some of
was
the
so fucked up. That was
bro,
just so fucked up.
that was some of the best shit I've ever seen in my life. I was just like, this is amazing right here. You know what I'm saying? And that was a lot of stuff that was added because while the fight was still interesting and good and well choreographed and drawn and all that in the comic, it's like in the show they added so much more like intensity to it. Like the hits just looked like they hit harder. The fact that the whole fight was on a time clock made it way more intense, especially since it was for the opposing force. So that's what made them fight more intensely because they knew like they was fighting on a clock. Phase one killed it. I don't know the young man who does his voice, but for being in the show for just one episode, you
I'll
did
see if
your
I can figure
thing,
that
man.
out.
For real, like he did his thing. Also, I gotta give a RIP and a shout out to the late Lance Reddick, who did an amazing job bringing to life Erickson. Erickson was he was a piece of vile filth in this episode, but he was portrayed very well. I always thought he was bald. They gave him a fade. They gave him a bald fade instead of just making him bald. But yeah, I don't know where he suddenly got hair. But everybody else was accurate. Brandyworth, I really liked what they did with him. They actually got an actor that I'm a fan of from Justified, from his role
Oh
in Justified. I
wow!
can't
I
think of his
just now
name.
realized
Who?
that yeah, Brandyworth was. It's not Phase One. I'm sorry. But Brandy Worth was voiced by Stephen Root, who is one of my
Yeah,
favorite actors as of recent. He was in
I,
Barry and
bro,
a lot of other stuff.
I was just talking about him. I didn't know what his name was, but you just said it. But yeah, he was actually one of the main characters in Justified. He played a funny ass judge. Like he was like one of my
Yeah.
favorite characters in Justified. The
Dude,
dude
have you
was
ever seen, slightly off topic, and we'll get back on track, I promise, but have you ever seen or heard of a show called Barry starring Bill Hader?
no, I've never seen that, bro.
Okay, dude, listen. It's my mind, my best friend, and my girlfriend's favorite show of all time currently. It stars Bill Hader. I won't even describe it because I want you to look it up on your own
I
time because
think
I know you're
I
going to watch
heard
it.
of it before. Ain't the logo got like all red letters?
Yeah, it's about a hitman who wants to become an actor. Is the short line of it, and Stephen Root plays his handler
Wait,
that
wait,
sends him out on
wait,
hits and
wait,
shit.
wait, wait. What?
It's about a hitman who gets sent to LA to become an actor, and it's a whole thing, and you got to watch it. But Stephen Root plays his handler in the show, and Henry Winkler plays the acting coach, and it's very meta,
What
and it's
the
very
fun?
the fonts. Yes,
Are you fucking serious right now?
I'm not kidding you, man. It's one of the best shows of all fucking time. I'm telling you, got to watch it,
Bro, I'm watching this tonight, bro. What the hell?
bro. I'm
Like,
telling you,
I gotta start this
you got to
before
give
I
it a
go to
solid
sleep,
chance. It's
man.
an amazing show,
This
but
man
man, we got to
said
get
the
back on track.
Fonz is the acting coach. That's like the most ironic thing. But yeah, not yeah, we gotta get back on topic because you got me fucked up over here right now. But all right, so the Adam Eve episode, Brandy Worth, you said he was I thought he was brought to life very good. I really enjoyed like his portrayal and how they did, like I said, the whole thing with him just trying to keep his eye on her, making sure she was straight, faking her death, telling her not to use her powers. Like everything that he did in this short was on point and exactly what happened in the comic book. They didn't really change too much with him. That they changed a little bit of the brutality of how he died in the comic. I think they actually showed him getting popped in the head in the comic. In the show they did it off screen, but I
Yeah, that's
still
a
was
little off kilter for the show. They usually try to go out of their way to show more gore.
shocked by how they did the mom reveal though, because I remember when I read that I was just like, oh my,
That was graphic.
oh that's just wrong.
And how
That
he
was
lied. He just blatantly lied. He was like, yeah, no, she was an assistant, and she kind of she helped me out in this thing, just completely leaving out the
but
fact that she was a heroin addict.
But Brandyworth didn't know that that was gonna happen though. Like that was just another like that was a lot
He
right
thought she was
there,
still
man.
dead. Yeah, he had
Yeah,
he had no
yeah,
idea
that
that
was.
she was being kept alive. Yeah,
Now, what do you think about the cool little Easter egg teaser that they had at the end? You know, duct tape man.
duct
You
tape
feel
man.
me?
Now
Yeah,
listen,
duct tape.
you know how we were talking about earlier? We wanted an Invincible fighting game.
Yeah,
They got
that
to
would.
put duct tape man in that fucking fighting game, man.
I swear, bro, that'd
They've
be
got
an
to put duct
amazing
tape man in there.
DLC character, like a little deal. Look, do a babality and then have duct tape man run out there or something like that. And
Yes.
then look, and then is that Mountain Dew?
Yeah, I got some Taco Bell earlier. Yeah.
Ah, okay. I love me some Mountain Dew now. But
Yes.
what else and I'm sorry, I'm not trying to sponsor Mountain Dew or nothing. I'm just but
I mean, hey, you got to make money, bro. Shit.
yeah. I just what I'm saying. I just happened to notice that shit. But yeah, bro, the whole episode solid. Now there was a couple of things I did want to I wanted to pick your brain about. I know there's a few people that was a little dissatisfied or confused with like the power scaling and stuff in the episode. Maybe felt like she was a little too good at using her powers. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people might think like, damn, we ain't even really see her train or nothing like that. All of a sudden, she doing all this gangster stuff on the bridge, like, you know what I mean? So it's like, does that really bother you at all, or
I
do
think
you
it showed
feel like they
very
could have?
well.
Do you feel like they could have shown more with her, like trying to use her powers and stuff?
I think they did a pretty good job of showing her making mistakes and having to learn from them in this episode. Actually, in my opinion,
I feel like, well, who called? Oh, okay, that cuz right now. He don't know no better. But nah, I feel like the cool thing that I like is what we mentioned earlier, where they displayed how smart she was. So I feel like they just didn't want to hold your hand with the story. Maybe you just fill in the blanks yourself. She's a super smart girl, super smart. She finds out that she has these powers that are just unbelievable, So why wouldn't she go off on her own at any chance that she gets and practice these powers and get better and better at using them? So I just figured that's what she did, man. And then when the fight
Yeah, that
started,
makes
all
sense.
that stuff just when when the fight started, all that stuff just naturally kicked in. Now, I ain't gonna lie, she was doing her thing in that fight. Like she was doing her thing. I wasn't expecting her to be that good. Like I don't even know if I would have did it like that. Like she was Adam Eve was she was goaded in that fight, man. That shit was crazy.
That
You
was
know what
crazy.
I'm saying? I was just like, how old you is, girl? 12? Like, damn.
I
You
thought it was
know?
pretty crazy how I mean, and this is Invincible, so they have no issue showing young people getting brutalized and beat the shit out of. But like whenever they allowed her to get that physically injured, being as young as she was, which obviously they had to showcase her ability to regenerate. When she gets beyond a certain level of injury. But
Yeah.
I just thought it was crazy how like viscerally injured she got. Like she got really messed up before she was forced to go into regeneration mode.
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy, man. I swear. But like I said, besides that, like the whole scaling thing, and people being a little confused or feeling a little different about like how her powers were displayed and stuff. Other than that, man, I think like it was an overall solid episode. I feel like any fan of Invincible, the show or otherwise, will enjoy it. It was comic book accurate. We got to learn more about Adam Eve. They're doing a great job with this character. She's even getting her own video game on Steam. It's going to be like an interactive novel, interactive comic type video game.
Yeah,
Not quite as detailed as like a Telltale game or one of those, like not like your Until Dawns of the Quarry
yeah.
or
It's
nothing
gonna be
like
like
that.
a
It's not
visual
like,
novel type deal, like it's like
yeah.
picture
I
on
mean,
screen, shit like that.
I'm still gonna play it. I'm still gonna
Oh
fuck with
yes,
it. I'm a little interested as to what the story is gonna be like. Is it gonna be anything new? Maybe they might cover like her time with Teen Team before she met Invincible. It's a lot of stuff they can do
yeah.
there.
Well,
Uh,
Mr. Awesome just said in the comments here, now we need a Rexplode episode. And I can say that the
Hell yeah.
Invincible Twitter said specifically, and I don't know how much in jest they were, but and they like to joke a lot, but the Invincible Twitter posted that if we want more one shots, everyone needs to watch the Adam Eve special twice. They need to get enough people like to view that to get Amazon to justify making another one of them. Like
I
literally,
already got my views in.
right?
You know what I'm
I
saying?
watched it at least 3 times. Yeah.
I know that the thing with that is they know that they have to get a certain amount of viewership to be able to validate the point to be able to make more. I think they easily gonna meet that mark, man. What
Oh yeah. Oh
Invincible?
yeah.
Cause see what now? Cause see the thing with Robert Kirkman taking so long to drop anything Invincible, he had people so thirsty and starving for anything new that with
Yes.
him dropping this episode, it's probably skyrocketed the viewership on it way higher than it would have naturally been if he just released it on a more normal schedule. So this could have
Exactly.
all
That's
been
what I was going.
tactically planned. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he clearly knew he was dropping it today. We didn't know he was dropping it today. You know what I'm saying? Well, not today, but we didn't know he was dropping it on the day that he was dropping it. But he clearly knew he was dropping it on that day. So, like I said,
Yeah.
all of this was he was moving some chess moves, man. You know.
Yeah. It's all about operating the hot machine properly, and Robert Kirkman's a master at it.
And I think that Invincible actually was at Hall H at Comic Con. And it's like Comic Con, like this year, wasn't really like it was nice. A lot of people enjoyed it, but the crazy thing about it was it wasn't even that much of Hollywood in there because of all the stuff that's going on with Hollywood. It wasn't really much for them to show, you know what I'm saying, or promote.
Yeah.
So Comic Con mainly this year just had comics there. And I heard, I could be wrong about this, but I heard that Invincible actually took Hall H, which is primarily used to show off like the newest Marvel movies or just like the newest, biggest thing. So the fact that Invincible was in Hall H is just like dope in
That's a
itself.
huge deal.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like that's like literally you know what I mean? Like he had probably the hottest amount of news at Comic Con that people wanted to know about, hands down.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Vizon and Jim Jom both just mentioned that if we could possibly get a Spider-Man cameo, that would be awesome. And I don't know how true this is, but I recently read something stating that Amazon has a deal with Sony right now in place. There's nothing confirmed, but they have a deal with Sony in place where they could be potentially hinting at something like that happening. We don't know for certain. All we know is that's on paper. So up until I read that, I was completely like, it's not going to happen. It's too complicated. Sony's an asshole about Spider-Man. They're not going to let it happen just for a little TV show. But now Invincible's big enough in like the mainstream, and like they're putting Omni Man in freaking like Mortal Kombat, the new video games coming out, all the shit you've been talking about. Like
Yeah.
I think there's a not. I don't want to get my hopes up too high, but I would say it's a not impossible anymore.
No, I think it definitely could happen, bro. It definitely can happen, bro. Like I think that's definitely what. Like I don't know if that's what they're gonna do, but I know it's clearly a possibility with the stuff that's going on. Like we
I mean,
see
it would
that
just be weird. Which
Josh.
version would they do? Oh no, no. Oh, that's the thing. I think I also read in the post. They also if they do it, they already know who's going to voice him, and it's the one from the video games, I think.
Yeah, I'm about to say I see that they have. Now we don't know exactly who he's voicing, but one of my favorite voice actors, Josh Keaton, he's actually being
Yes, Josh
added.
Keaton. That's what it is.
Yeah, he's being added to the cast now. I don't know if he's just being added to the cast as like you feel me, like an actual character in Invincible. If I actually made a video about this, I just put a link to it in the chat. Y'all can check it out if you haven't watched it already. But I talked more about this in detail on the Spider-Man Invincible crossover possibilities. But what I was saying was, it could happen because Josh Keaton, he's voiced Spider-Man various different times in multiple video games and in the show Spectacular Spider-Man. He's actually my personal favorite voice actor for the character of Spider-Man. So he has plenty of experience already voicing the character. Also, him and Stephen Ewing worked together voice acting before on the same project in the Voltron, the Legendary Defender show on Netflix.
I did not
Uh,
know that. That
yeah,
is really
Josh,
fucking cool.
yeah, you need to check that out if you haven't watched it. It's an amazing show. It has similar animation to Avatar: The Last Airbender. I really like it. It got a little weird towards the end. I wouldn't recommend watching season 8. Just watch season 1 through 7. It's the perfect ending. I don't know why they made another season after that. I'm going on a tangent, but no, it's an amazing show. Check it out. It's really good. Good voice work. And after watching it, I remember I used to think to myself that I personally wanted Josh Keaton to do the voice of the Invincible. If it was my choice, I think he'd be perfect for that. But Stephen Ewing, I think it might have not have been his first voice role, but it was my first time hearing him in a voice role, doing the
It was
voice of
mine too.
Keith. Yeah, seeing him do the voice. No, seeing him do the voice of
I'm gonna
the
see on mine
character of
too. I'm gonna
Keith.
go with his IMDb.
Yeah, he did the voice of Keith, the red defender in Voltron. He was kind of like the second in command to Shiro, who was the main character in
Yeah,
Voltron.
I think you told me that before in a previous podcast.
Yeah, and that was my first time hearing him voice act like period. So hearing him do that, it kind of made me excited to see how he would be in Invincible. But I'd still choose Josh any day of the week. The guy's perfect for roles like this, man. So I'm excited
He
just to see what he
voiced.
do either way.
I've heard him in one role, I think, before Invincible as voicing, and it was in like a single episode role in American Dad.
Oh, for real?
Yeah,
I
he
can see
voiced some
that.
dude named Charles in an episode called Blagnar's The Love Story of
I
American Dad.
I can see that. I can definitely see
So
that. I
yeah,
don't know if I've seen that episode, but I can see that
I'm,
though. Yeah.
I'm I mean I don't. Well, let me see. What year was it? Because depending on the year, 2014. I might not have seen it because I stopped watching American Dad around that time.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
no, like overall, like I said, the episode's smooth. I like it. But let's move on to the actual teaser trailer that they dropped at Comic Con. Now, do you remember? Like, do you need to replay it, or do you remember like the shots that they teased in
let's
that
go
trailer?
ahead. I can go ahead and replay it just for a refresher.
Alrighty, and be careful with the audio. You know how YouTube acts
It's
weird.
playing in my ear, so it's good.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, for sure. But yeah, man, it's they have a lot of great shots in there. You could actually highlight a lot of the shots like that I might forget, but I know they had a shot with Doc Seismic, and what is little minions, the little magmites or whatever. I don't know what he called them. And then they had a shot showing Angstrom Levi looking at a big screen in a downtown, wherever Invincible live. I don't even know where he live. New York, Chicago, or something. But anyways, downtown, wherever he is, it's a big screen. You looking at it right now? Yeah, you can see all the shots I'm talking about. They highlighting the part that's gonna happen that I talked about, where it's probably gonna start out with Angstrom Levi in his own dimension, where it's actually been taken over by Invincible and his dad, and he leaves that dimension to go to the dimension that where the actual story takes place. I'm telling you, I'm calling it right now, bro. That's how they gonna start the season out. Yes, it is.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Tell us what you saw.
Okay. So a couple. It's a lot of short shots, so it's a lot of you got to kind of parse through it. I think it's really cool that there's the shot of the Immortal fighting Mark, presumably
Yes.
because he's still, like I mean, the Immortal's very I think very traumatized. Like he doesn't know what to think. He's very on edge. He thinks Mark's just as much a villain as Omni Man and will not be deterred from that until he
Yeah, he
believes.
thinks I remember it was a line in the comics where he actually said, "In my many years of experience, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree." So
Yes,
he
yes.
just feels like that if Mark isn't like his dad now, then he could easily turn out that way later. He doesn't trust him because he literally witnessed his father murder his entire team and kill him. It's only because he's immortal that he was able to live. Now, what I do notice about that trailer is that the Immortal is causing way more damage on Invincible than he ever has. So this goes back to the complaints that I said I know several people have with the Invincible character actually being nerfed a lot for the show against a lot of different fights and different characters. Like they're boosting other characters' strength, but they're lessening his. Now, what I feel like Kirkman is doing here is he probably sees the show as like the final product, right? Like he started Invincible years ago. He might have not have displayed how he wanted to properly. Looking back on it, in hindsight, he might look back on it and be like, he probably didn't display Invincible's powers the way that he wanted to. Now, I'm not making excuses for him, but I'm just saying, maybe he wants to lean more into the whole point of Invincible's name being more so it's not like he's invincible because he's literally invincible. It's just he's invincible because he knows how to take a beating and he's real durable and he always gets back up and he always finds a way to win no matter the damage that he takes. And I feel like that's going to really be displayed in future fights, especially like the fight with Conquest, because I really like to highlight that fight because in the comic, when he was getting so damaged, literally his arm broken, his fingers and his fist like broken, his
And he
eyes
was still
swollen
just
so much.
beating.
Yeah, his eyes swollen so much that he couldn't even see out of it. He was still coming up with ways to attack him. He was biting him hard on the neck. He headbutted him so much to the point where his face caved in. So, like I say, he resorted to whatever he could to win. And Mark is just like that. Period. Like even in the rematch with Conquest, where he strangled him to death and did not let go of him despite how much Conquest was damaging him to try to make him let go. He was still squeezing. Like this stuff is so
Conquest
intense,
was
right?
disemboweling him, and he would
Exactly.
not stop.
Exactly. I'm like, this stuff was so intense, right? So it just makes you think that I've always thought that Invincible's name is not because he's actually invincible. It's just because he's super durable and he always gets back up and he always finds a way to
Yeah,
win
it's
in
his
the fight no matter
durability
what it is.
combined with his
His healing
unending
factor.
willpower.
Yeah,
His will. He has just an unending amount of will when it comes to what he cares about and defending his friends and his
yeah,
family.
when that rage takes over, man, you know what I'm saying? Like they teased it a little bit in the first season when he was fighting the Flaxons and they was about to kill Eve, and he was just like, "I said no," and then he
Again
lost
during the
the
Battle
real.
Beast fight.
Yeah, well, that. That was cute.
Didn't do a lot of good, but it still he still did
That was cute. You know what I'm
it.
saying?
It was cute, yes.
Yeah. You know, he didn't do much with that one. I still think the Flaxen was a better example. But
It was a better depiction of it for sure. But
but
back to what you said about the power scaling, I think another I fully agree with you that Kirkman is viewing this as the final product. The as I don't mean this to sound bad, but Invincible was his side project for the entire time he was making it up until the end. He was writing it alongside The Walking Dead, and he was writing it when he was on set of the Walking Dead TV show, and he was still working on it.
yep.
Like that.
I
That's
remember.
why Carl is reading some issues of Invincible throughout the Walking Dead show, is because that Robert Kirkman was on set with the comics all the time.
The
Um,
guy is a mad lad, man.
he is. But the thing is that what agreeing with what you said is that this is the final product. He was working on Invincible this entire time, but now this is the final product. He's refining the story. He's doing everything the right way. And if he has to mess with some power scaling to make the refined product better, sure, people are going to complain about the comparison to the comic, but it's going to be a better told story in the show because of the changes. For example, I think the reason that Mark is weaker is because we want to see him be weak in the beginning so we can be proud of him becoming stronger in the future.
Mm,
He is able to fight Conquest and defend Earth and shit. Like right now, he couldn't. You know,
yeah,
it's why he got the shit beat out of my Battle Beast. Eventually, he's going to fight on par with Battle Beast. We're going to see him grow to that point. This is Mark's overarching story. We want to see growth happen. We don't want to see him
yeah.
already be strong and then be strong forever. We want to see him be weak and get the shit beat out of him, and then him become stronger, and then see that can no longer be done to him towards the end.
And don't get me wrong, man. Like in the comics, Mark gets his ass beat on multiple occasions. Like he gets waxed, man. Like bad, a lot, like a lot, like a lot. You know what I'm saying? So it's not
Yeah,
like
Mr. Awesome said Conquest would mop the floor with Mark right now. Conquest would squish Mark like a bug right now.
exactly, man. And you know what? I hope they take their time with it. I don't want to see Conquest nowhere in season two.
Me,
Maybe like a little tease, a little sprinkle, like how we got at the end of season one. I would be okay with an actual scene at the end of the season setting up. Like for example, like follow me here, right? So let's say we have like a scene after the ambush that happens when Mark reunites with his father, and then they get ambushed by the other Viltrumites. Don't show a scene before that because we don't want to get spoiled for that ambush. But let's say after that ambush, they give us like a flashback scene where they show the Viltrumites actually getting ready before they, pursued, Omni Man. Like we could, like, because we never saw that in the comics, right? So they could actually show them on Viltrumite locating where Omni Man is and figuring out, like, you could actually see more of Lucan because they got to develop him more as a character. You could actually see, because Lucan was the one that actually led that charge against Omni Man, so we could actually see him getting more developed as a character, getting a squad together, and then going out to pursue Omni Man. Like we could see, like they find it on their surveillance or something like that, and see that he's on so and so planet, and they're like, oh, Omni Man over there. He get a squad together, and then maybe in that scene we might see Conquest or something poking fun at Lucan or something like that, or we might get to see Thula. Or we might get to see a Nissa or something like that. Maybe they in like a training room or something.
yeah,
You
that
know
would
what
be
I'm saying?
nice.
Just a nice little, sprinkle of more Viltrumites so we can see what's to come, and then he leaves and he starts the pursuit to go there and then, ambush him. And then that's when we get the stuff from the comics. That whole fight scene plays out. You know what I mean?
I do agree with you that I do believe that that's how season 2 is going to end, is with the big fight scene on Thraxa. And if it's cool with you, I think it is probably a good idea for us to move on to the season 2 expectations and the plot stuff. But I just saw something that Dominic Powell mentioned that I forgot about completely in the beginning of the Adam Eve special was the big fight with the Guardians of the Globe, and Green Ghost was male, not like in the show. That means that the Green Ghost died, and that Green Ghost in the show in season 1 is his successor.
Yeah. That's cool how they actually put that in there. They found a
I
way to
like that a
still,
lot.
yeah, they still. I like that whole fight scene actually. Like
It
I
was so
mean,
good.
come on, man. Let's keep it a stack right now, man. Let's keep it a stack right now, man. You know, the queen was looking mighty. God, she was looking caked up, man. I was like, hold up. I'm like, who is this? Who is this? I'm like, yeah, Queen Lizard was looking. She had some
That
thick
was
skin.
I agree. She was looking pretty good.
She had some thick skin, scales. You know what I'm saying?
The
You
scales.
know,
That's what we appreciate.
yeah, man. You know, I don't know where her ass been in the comic. I ain't saying none of that. Saw her spoiled ass son though. We see what he gonna grow up to be. A bitch.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? He gonna
I
have a
love
strap.
that they're. I do. That's something I guess I should mention is I do really appreciate how like the point of the special was Adam Eve. We were trying to see Adam Eve's origin story. That was the point. But they were also taking all the extra time in the show that they had to give us Easter eggs and like stuff
Yeah.
supplementary material about the world of Invincible that we wouldn't have
They
learned
was
about
sprinkling,
otherwise.
yeah, they was sprinkling more nuggets in there. I'm gonna tell you right now, I was not expecting to see an awesome fight scene with the original OG Guardians of the Globe versus the Lizard League. Like I was not expecting that at all. And what I love about that is this gives more validity to what I was just talking about earlier about the scene with Rex Float. This sets up the Lizard League to pop up later on in the season. You know what I'm saying? And we know that that's going to happen even more so because if you look at the poster that they have for Invincible Season 2 with all the characters crammed in on that bus, you can see the leader of the Lizard League, King Lizard or whatever the fuck his name is, standing in the back, of the bus. You can see him standing right there. You know what I'm saying? So it's like they setting it up. They setting it up, bro. Like they setting it up, bro. You think I'm playing, bro? I can put some money on it, bro. We gonna get the scene, bro. We gonna
Oh
get the
yeah,
scene, Cody. We getting it. You know what I'm saying?
oh yeah. So how do you think season two is going to open up? Me and Will are me and Mr. Awesome already have our theory, but I want to hear yours first.
Man, I've talked about this a few times. I've actually seen a couple of people talk about this in the Invincibles, uh, the Invincipals Facebook group. Check them out. I'm shouting them out right now. But yes, on the Facebook group, there's a guy who actually said a theory very similar to the video I made on my YouTube, actually word for word, damn near. Which is why I feel like this is such an interesting theory and why it's most likely to happen because so many people feels like this theory is gonna happen, and I'm pretty sure that this is the theory that you have as well. But no, the season can start with Angstrom Levi, like I said, in the other dimension, and they can really like kind of give people kind of like a what the fuck, you know what I'm saying? Kind of experience for people that haven't read the comics, kind of give them a look at what it would be like if the world actually did get taken over by Mark Grayson and his father. Like if he actually said yes to the offer, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna get that whole scene from the comic play out. You see it in the damn trailer with Angstrom Levi looking up at the screen, you know what I'm saying? It's displayed downtown with Mark's face on it, telling everybody to get ready for Viltrumite rule. You know what I mean? We're gonna see that whole scene, and then we're gonna see Angstrom Levi run away in the nick of time at the last minute. Actually, he ain't even gonna run. He's gonna get yanked through the portal by his other self into the dimension where the actual series takes place. And that's where we're gonna, just continue on with the story from there. I feel like that's the perfect way to start the season.
That's it. That was what we were thinking as well. Yeah.
Exactly. It's perfect. And then like I said, we already have footage pretty much in the trailer. Even if they don't start the season out like that, we're definitely going to see that scene for sure. You know what I'm saying? So either way, I feel like we're going to get to see that scene. However they switch it up or whatever, it's going to be in there. Definitely going to be in there.
Yeah.
Now,
Um.
what are the
Go ahead.
fights that you're looking forward to in season two? Like, what fights do you think we're going to actually see? And what fights are you looking forward to?
I've been in great deliberation internally about how they're going to handle the plot structure of season two compared to how they handled it with the comic. Because in season one, they made it very clear they have no issue taking stuff that's 20 issues ahead and putting it in stuff that's happening in current, like what is currently like issue like 20 something, right? Like
Yeah.
if we want to go big story arc, we are currently around like issue 20 something. That's when Angstrom Levy like starts introducing himself into the plot, and then we start seeing like the whole multiverse stuff, and then Mark in the mid 20s goes to Thraxa, and then with a science dog and sees Omni Man and shit, like, but we could see stuff from like issues 40 to 60, but that's where the Invincible War takes place. So I'm also a little in deliberation about that. But the big thing I
Who?
do
Hey,
believe is going to be what's
and
that?
Angstrom Levi, by the way, is also played by Sterling K. Brown, which
Okay.
is very interesting. I like that. Yeah, he's gonna actually be. Now, I love the voice acting, or the voice casting in Invincible, because it's kind of doing like this Castlevania type thing, where it's picking a lot of actors that you wouldn't expect to be in like the voice roles, but they're picking like a lot of actors, like people that don't normally voice act. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's pretty cool how they doing that. It's a lot of
J.K.
real voice.
Simmons was a big one.
Yeah,
J.K.
it's a lot
Simmons
of
was a big one.
yeah, it's a lot of real voice actors in there too. But I like how they're getting real actors and putting them in there. Now, of course, J.K. Simmons got experience voice acting from Legend of Korra. You know what I'm saying? He
Oh
actually
yeah, he did play Aang,
yeah,
didn't he? I forgot about that.
yeah, in Legend of Korra,
I
he
forgot about
played
that. I
yeah, he
completely spaced in my head.
yeah, he played I think his name was Tintin or Ting Ting or something like that. He was like the
Or he looked
grand
like Aang, I guess, a lot. Yeah, he
no
was an
no
airbender.
Aang was his granddad or his great granddad or something like
Okay,
that.
that's
Yeah.
why that he looked a lot alike. Okay, I didn't
hmm
watch Chorus, so that's why
Yeah,
that
I,
was you.
I only watched the first two seasons, and that was years ago. I didn't keep up with it. Nowhere near as good as the original. Fucking love Avatar though.
Yeah, but
But
back to the
yeah.
fight thing.
hmm
The one big fight I do believe is going to be in season 2 definitively, and me and Mr. Awesome have already talked about that. Is the fight where Angstrom breaks Debbie's arm and sends Mark off into like the desert universe where that's the fight where Spider-Man makes the cameo, Like so I if that if Spider-Man is going to appear in season 2, then that would be during that fight when it happens. It'd be like a 2-second thing, but that would be during that fight that it happens. And then we would see Invincible get sent to the desert dimension where he beats the shit out of Angstrom and accidentally almost we think he died, but he doesn't, but almost kills him. And he says the line that I love, I thought you were stronger. and
Get
then
out of
and then the future version of the Guardians come back from the future to the dimension to give Mark the dimension device to go back to present day, and then Eve tells him basically, "Tell me how you feel about me because I've spent my entire life not knowing and it's driven me crazy." And then I believe that's going to be in season 2. I don't know how they're going to handle it, but I believe that
hell
fight is
yeah.
going to be in season 2.
Hell yeah, hell yeah! I remember that. I remember that. Hey, you the go for that. Cause see, I talked about that in a video, but I didn't go that deep into it. I actually didn't even mention the fact that the future version of the Guardians was gonna come and actually help him get back to his time. I actually slick forgot about that. Like I remembered how he beat the ever living just paste out of Angstrom Levi, just turned his face into jelly. I remember that. And I remember him being covered in the blood and just being shocked by it all. I remember that. I actually talked about that as well, how they could actually potentially end the halfway point, the 4 episodes. Maybe they might end right there. Because I was talking about where they could.
Leaving him in that dimension, that would be so
Yeah,
fucking good.
exactly. Yeah, I was
Oh, that would be fucking
exactly.
heart wrenching, but it would be so
Exactly.
good.
Exactly. So I was, and then like, cause see, they actually, Robert Kirkman, he went on record saying in an article. I actually made a video about this as well. Sorry, I keep stuff from all my videos, y'all, but I gotta eat. You know what I'm saying? So you feel me? But no, anyway, then I talked about it where I was saying that Robert Kirkman was discussing how at the end of the fourth episode, the reason why he so called is doing the break or the split is because the end of the fourth episode is going to be so epic and so shocking and leave on such a cliffhanger that we're going to need like a break, in order to recover and get ready for the next episodes. And I'm just like, no, Robert,
Thumbs up then.
no, Robert, no, I want it all. Don't do that to us. We waited almost 3 years for season 2 to even get here, and
Well,
now
that's the
you
thing
want
with
to.
Kirkman, man. He does not mind fucking with us. He loves it. I think he gets off on it personally.
Yeah, he can get off on it all he want, cutting the damn season in half like a sandwich. They're just gonna give us some Adam Eve chips specials on the side. He gave us that little appetizer and got us waiting. I like it now. It tastes good now. But
Okay,
damn,
I
I'm
have a theory. I have a
hungry. I
quick
want some
theory.
more. What's up?
What if, hypothetically speaking, we get a Explode special in between the break between like season 2 part 1 and season 2 part 2,
Oh, that actually, you
to
know
give
what?
us something so we're not so fucking distraught.
That would be nice if they
That would be
planned it out.
nice. I
If
don't
they
think it's
if they
gonna happen, but I
But
would
they
like
they,
it.
they would have they would have already have done it. If that was the
They'd have to
plan,
be working on it currently. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
yeah. Let's look at some of these messages though, man. We got no, Queen Lizard was not in the comic. As far as I know, she wasn't in the comic. I don't know if she was in. She might have been in a spinoff, maybe a
Quick,
side comic. I
Google it
don't
real
know.
quick.
But yeah, get on that real quick, Cody, please. But I don't know if she was in the comic. I don't ever remember seeing her in the comic. That's why it was such a surprise to me. And I was just like, man, she just like that. You know what I'm saying?
No,
Yeah, she's an original character, right?
no, she's not
Exactly. Yeah, that was just added in, and yeah, man, that was that
completely
was.
original. Yeah.
And then we got here. We also have. How do you think they will introduce Bulletproof? Yes, that's another character that I was really excited to see. That I'm glad they actually put him in the poster as well. On for the poster for season 2, you can see him sitting on the train as well. So he's definitely gonna be a part of season 2. Um, help me out, Cody. I don't remember how he got introduced in the comics. I think he just popped up, didn't he? Yeah, he just popped up.
He popped up during the Guardians tryouts, and his line was is that he. I can't remember specifically
Because
like verbatim, but his line was basically
I remember Monster Girl was flirting with him or something. She said it like
something.
he
He
looked good
said,
or something.
"I'm as fast as Omni Man. I'm as strong as Omni Man, and only half as evil," or something like that. Like he said, he was trying to say he's on par with Omni Man's strength and speed, but he's not evil like Omni Man is, which I believe is him being very cocky and gloaty. But the big thing that he is that we can say
He
about
might be
Bulletproof is that
pretty close though,
he
because
uses
like
Invincible's original costume.
yeah, I was just about to say he might be really close though, because like you said, he used Invincible's original costume. He actually took over for him at one point for a little bit
He did. Yeah,
when
when
he
he
was
lost his
trapped in the
powers.
other dimension. Yeah, so it's like so he might actually, you know what I'm saying? I forgot how he got his powers though. I don't remember how he got his powers. I don't
Um,
remember that.
it was late in the comic. Basically,
I
him
remember he
and
had a
his
twin
twin
brother.
brother, him and
Yeah.
his twin brother was trying to give himself powers, but the only way he knew how to give himself powers was by testing the equipment or like the formula he had on someone who was genetically identical. So he tested it on his brother with the intention of then killing his brother and then using it on himself. But in the accident, his twin brother killed himself on accident. So then Bulletproof lies to his parents, and when he's in the suit, and says that he's his brother to his parents, so his
Oh
parents
shit.
think his brother's still alive. Then he takes the suit off and then tells him that his brother's off fighting crime and he can't be around. So he pretends to be his brother when he's in the suit, and he's living a double life basically with his parents. And then in the
Yeah.
comic, they tell his parents, like him and his girlfriend, tell his parents like, "Hey, listen, my twin brother
Yeah, I
died."
remember
That's how
that.
in the
Oh,
comic.
don't tell the whole thing. I remember that. I remember that. It was fucking
Yeah,
epic. Yeah, I can't. Oh God, I can't wait to.
it's
Yeah,
fucked up. It's fucked up,
yeah, it is. It
and they're
is
gonna put it in the show for sure.
definitely. They are not gonna hold back. Oh God, buckle up, everybody. Hold on, real
It's
quick.
good. It's good. So right quick before we wrap up, how do you think season 2 is going to end?
Whew. Um,
Because I'm pretty sure I know.
I got.
But
Yeah,
again,
I
I
got.
want to hear your theory first.
I have a few theories. They can either end it Now, see, this is what throws me off a little bit. Unless they're gonna do like some kind of flashbacks or something like that, just to put him in the series for a little bit more during season two, because we see a clip of him in the trailer, and that clip of him in the trailer doesn't seem to be like where I would think we would see him again. But I feel like it could end where Mark finally sees his dad again and reunites with him, and it just leaves us on that cliffhanger with him just like, Dad, you know what I'm saying? Just like what the hell, you know what I'm saying? They could end it there. But the reason why I said I don't know is because are they gonna put that fight that happens, like the ambush that we talked about earlier?
I think
Is
they
that
are.
gonna is that gonna be in season two? You know what I'm saying? So if that's gonna be in season two, that could also be the end of season two. So will the end of season two just be that scene, and then the beginning of season three will start out with that epic fight, or will the end of season two be that fight itself and them, carting, his father off, and then appointing Mark as the new, one in
Ambassador,
charge.
basically.
Yeah, the new ambassador of the Viltrumite Empire, or whatever. I mean, of Earth or whatever. They could actually end it there. That could be like an epic, like what the fuck, you
That's
know
what
what
I'm
I'm saying?
thinking. So, if we compare season one and season two, let's say the plot structure will be similar. Season one had like the beginning, leading up to the big fight with Battle Beast in the middle of the season. That was like the mid-season, fight, and then we had the big fight with Mark and Omni Man at the end of the season. So if the plot structure is going to follow suit, then we're going to see like build up to episode four, and then they're going to have the big fight between Mark and Angstrom, and then like we theorize that Mark is going to be left in the dimension and he's going to be all fucked up and bloody and shit, and then it's going to cut off, and then next year we'll see that wrap up with Angstrom, and then I think in the last episode we're going to see Mark go off to Thraxo with Seance Dog, see his dad, meet Oliver, all that's going to
Mm,
happen, and then it will end with a big fight when the Viltrumites show up. You have the big fight to finish off the season, the same way the big fight with Omni Man finished off the season in season one. And
yep.
then Mark will be sent back to Earth as the ambassador, and then we'll get a big season three what if, you know, montage like we did in season two. That's what I'm thinking.
Okay. What if they actually ended on like a more emotional note, right? And they do all the stuff. They show everything. They show him seeing his dad. They show the fight that him and his dad have with the Viltrumites. They show him meeting Oliver and all that. And they end the season on Mark actually coming back home and showing his mom, "Hey, mom, I got
I would
I
cry
got a
so
little,
hard too.
I got a little brother, man. Like, what's up?" And then her face is just like, and then that's how they end the season or something. You know what I mean? Like that would be,
I think that would be a more suitable opener for season three, to be honest with you.
yeah, man. Like however they do it, they got to make sure that they say, "Hey, you know that you're dun 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 invincible." You feel me with the blood on there and shit. I love
Yes.
how they do that with every opener, man. It's
I
creative
wonder what
every
they're going to do with the title card in season two. I didn't even think about that. They put a lot of like thought into the title card in season one.
time.
I wonder how they're going to handle that in season two.
As long as they stay consistent with it and keep it like where whatever character is talking mentions the name Invincible, and then right before they say it, they cut to it. I'm live with that. I like how they do that. That's very interesting. But yeah, man. Hold on a second. Hey, cuz, I'm gonna call you right back, bro. I'm live streaming on YouTube right now, bro. For sure, bro. Yeah, that's life. But anyway, man, I really I really think that it's going however it ends, it's gonna end on Thraxus, and it's gonna be either a fight or it's just gonna be shock value, or just emotional shock value with us just seeing something that we wasn't expecting to see. We expecting to see it, but that the majority ain't expecting to see. Or maybe we ain't expecting to see it. Maybe they'll change some shit up. I don't know. I'm just
Like I
ready.
said, like they made it very clear they have no issue taking shit from 20 issues ahead of the current story and putting it in now. All that stuff that
Nah,
happened with Robot and him cloning himself into Rex's body happened way further ahead.
way, yeah, exactly.
Way like that
And,
was so
and
out of left field.
or just making stuff up that's like completely original. Like I wasn't expecting to see Damien Darkblood acting the way
Yeah,
that he acted in the
Dominic in the
show.
comments just mentioned Damien. Yeah,
Yeah, the way that he acts in the comic is nowhere near how he acts in the show. He's actually taken seriously in the show, so much so that Cecil exercises him back to hell because he doesn't want him around. But in the comic, he's just looked at as a joke. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? So I really like what they do with him. I feel like they got way more they can do with him. They're not just about to just leave that there. You know what I'm saying? So, and then it's also some more supernatural elements going on with the whole mommy thing. You remember how they had a scene where these guys like on some Indiana Jones shit, they was in Egypt and they actually went inside of this tomb and they excavated like this mummy and it came out and it was glowing and shit, like it was on some supernatural stuff. You don't remember seeing that scene in season
yeah.
one, bro? Yeah, I'm like, I don't remember nothing like that in the comic. I mean, it wouldn't be too strange out the realm of possibility for something like that happening in Invincible because like it literally deals with everything: time travel, space, battles, future and current, and you know
Multiverse.
multiverse, and you know what I'm saying. It had like Invincible. Like if you wanted Invincible's got it. I ain't even gonna lie to you, but I've never seen that though. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what they're gonna do with that, but I'm interested. Maybe that has some kind of connection with Damien Darkblood. Whatever it is, I know we definitely gonna see more of him because he did way too much in season one. He was way too interesting. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's what I'm interested to see as well
Oh, yeah.
as everything else. You know what I'm saying? And also the Mauler twins beating the fuck out of Invincible. That fight gonna be so live. That's gonna be another moment where Invincible loses. Remember when he lost it in the comic book when the Mauler twins was jumping his ass because Angstrom Levi brought in
All
different.
the ones from the multiverse. Yeah,
Yeah, I was just like, oh my gosh, like, bro, I can't. They
that was a
started.
badass fight. But we'll see. That was so cool because up until that point, Mark had no problem beating the shit out of him, and seeing him get
Yeah,
overwhelmed was surprising.
see, like you gotta understand, bro. The Marler twins, they ain't no slouches, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's just, it's like not everybody is as strong. Like not everybody is a Viltrumite. You know what I'm saying? Like, but against like more standard and regular heroes, bro, even like stronger ones. You know what I'm saying? Like they fare pretty good. I mean, they got clapped by the Guardians at the beginning, but you know, Omni Man, so you know, he helped out with that a lot. I feel like they still would have lost. You know what I'm saying? But they would have put up more of a fight if Omni Man wasn't there. You know, the Marley twins, you know, there's a reason why they've been operating for so long, bro. You know, they literally one of the first villains we see in Invincible. And they be in the series almost all the way through. They be in the spinoffs. You know what I'm saying? The Marley twins are a huge part of the world of Invincible. So I really like how they've been portraying them in the show. And I'm really looking forward to that fight because, like I said, that's when the whole birth of Angstrom Levi happens. When that experiment goes south, when that fight happens, I just want to see how they animate it. I know they're gonna add a lot more to it. It's gonna be real intense. I'm confident it's gonna be choreographed well because of how good the fight was in the Adam Eve special. That got me real confident in the fights that we gonna
Yes.
see in season two. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I fuck with it, man. Like I'm really excited, man. And is there anything else in the trailer that you noticed that we haven't touched on yet? We talked about Angstrom Levi in his dimension and how the season is gonna start. We talked about Angstrom Levi doing the experiment and bringing out the multiple Mauler twins to fight Invincible. We talked about we didn't really talk about Doc Seismic that much, but I mean, you know, he's not that interesting. I mean, you know, he's pretty cool.
Yeah, they didn't do enough with him in season one to make me excited for him in
I
season
I,
two.
I
But
do
I think he's going to be good in season two, though.
I do really like how
And
they
yeah, Thetis.
upgrade.
We need to bring up. We need to talk about Thetis as well.
Hell yes. We gotta say the best for last. But I really do like how they like upgraded Doc Seismic severely. Not necessarily power wise, but just his personality, his overall dialogue, his back and forth with Adam, Eve, and Mark when they was fighting. It was not like that in the comic at all. It was way more cut and dry, way more straight to the point. He just ended up knocking himself into that mountain, into the lava. Well, not really, you know, because you find out he survived, but he ended up doing that to himself a whole lot quicker in the comic. In the show,
Yeah,
it was actually a pretty nice exchange. It was funny. I liked how they did his personality. It was a little bit much at sometimes, but
I love how they went into detail about how he's just giving himself a concussion every time he uses his powers.
exactly, that's fucking
That was just
hilarious.
good.
You know what I'm saying? That's why I said like it was little touches like that on his character that I did enjoy. But like you said, we didn't get that much with him in season one. But I feel like season two, he's gonna get more of a chance to shine. I actually remember in the comic book, he had a really nice like highlighted moment where he fought against the Guardians of the Globe that was actually led by Brit, and Invincible was involved in that fight as well, and they was underground, and all the monsters or whatever that he has like under his control, he had them attacking the various members of the Guardians of the Globe. He had them trapped. Some of them were they couldn't move because they was getting grabbed or held there, or they was getting bitten by some of the monsters and they couldn't move. And Invincible was actually trapped as well, and that was another moment where he lost it, and he grabbed. I remember it's actually a panel that I saw where he grabbed the top half or the bottom half of one of the monster's jaws, grabbed the teeth, and he lifted it up hard, flying up in the air with the teeth, and he made the teeth go through the top of the monster's head, through the mouth like that with his own teeth. I remember that scene specifically. God, I hope they animate that. But
Incredibly brutal, and they
but
have to, dude. There's
yeah,
certain there's very specific fight scenes like parts of fights that they have to animate because they just know they're that memorable in the comic.
yeah, and he fucking lost it, bro. Like I said, there was another moment where he lost it. Fought all the monsters. He was able to help. I think give the advantage back to the Guardians of the Globe. I'm not sure exactly how the end of that fight happened. I got to reread it, but I do remember that was a very significant moment for Doc Seisman. I'm not sure if that's going to happen in season two. I hope it does, because if it does happen, that means that we're going to get introduced to characters like Brit. You know what I'm saying? And potentially Tech Jacket and other characters that's going to be. We
We
already see
need
that.
to see more people from the Invincible
Exactly,
universe to come together.
exactly, bro. And I'm super excited to see Brit actually, because at the end of that trailer, you see all those actors' names being displayed on the screen. That's a lot of characters to fill. You know what I'm saying? Like you can easily just see that there's a lot of characters that's going to be added to season two that probably aren't even on that poster, because most of the characters on that poster are characters that we've already know are going to be, that we've already seen in season one that are making a return. I think there's probably like 3 or 4 characters on that poster maybe that are like new characters, but there's way more new voice actors on that end screen than just 4. So you know what I'm saying? Like we can literally just go through the characters of Invincible in a separate video and try to figure out which actor is gonna play which, man.
Yeah,
You know
that,
what
that would
I'm
be
saying?
fun.
Like
Um,
I actually want to set that up, because we could look up the actors and we could see their resumes and see the type of work that they've done prior, and that might can help us gauge or
yeah,
figure out what characters they're gonna play on the show. I feel like that'd be real interesting. We could be
that would be
dead
interesting.
wrong, but it could still be
It would
interesting to
still
try
it
to
would still
figure.
be a fun concept. So I
Uh,
think we know for a fact we're going to see Shapesmith in season two because we know they're going to do the whole Martian thing with the
yeah, he,
with
he was
the
on the
brain
poster
slugs.
too, I believe. Yeah,
Yeah,
Shakespeare was on the poster too. Yep.
but do we think we're going to have the whole Darkwing stuff, Darkwing two stuff happen where he like goes overboard and kills the people and has to be redeemed and shit?
They're definitely gonna have the scene where Mark meets the sidekick, because we see that in the trailer where he's actually in the little dark realm, and because he gets pulled in there by the
Yeah,
sidekick. That scene is definitely gonna be there. Now I don't know how far they're gonna go with the sidekick storyline, but I know that scene is gonna be there, and it honestly looks like it's gonna be taken more seriously. I remember in the comic book it was played for laughs. It was funny, hilarious. I laugh every time I read that part, because Mark is not taking them seriously at all. And then he
yeah.
tells him like, "Hey, bro, you might need to open up that portal and let us out of here." And then he just like, "Man, let me go, man. It's things in here. It's creepy stuff in here, man. It's monsters. It's the dark ones." And then he was just like, "Man, whatever in here, I bet you I got a much better chance surviving it than you do."
He did. Yeah, and now that you meant, it didn't even click in my head that was where Mark was in that dark space. But yeah, it looked like Mark was actually a little scared when he was in there because the Mark in the show
It
seems like
looked
he's a
more
little bit
serious. Yeah, I
like they're
remember
taking it more serious. But the Mark in the show is also more timid. It seems like he's more easily to be startled and scared.
I didn't really see fear. I just remember in the trailer, in the scene where it looks like he in the little dark realm with the sidekick, it seemed like I think on that part, he was like, "You got no idea what I'm capable of," or something like that. It seemed like he was a little pissed off, maybe a little angry. And like I said, he wasn't scared or angry in the comic book. He just didn't take him serious at all. Like he was a joke. So that's why like I prefer that. I wish they adapted it more like that so we could get a good little laugh out of it. But either way, that's gonna be a cool scene to see
Um,
adapt.
I just saw Ben Schwartz in the trailer. I'm just kind of like I have it up, muted, just looking at all the cast members and stuff. And Poppins, the dog in the comments, said that Shapesmith is definitely Ben Schwartz, and I can see that for sure.
Wow, are you
I can
serious?
see that for sure.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's definitely him. He even got a similar hairstyle.
You're not even wrong. You're not even wrong. I love, dude.
Yeah,
Shapesmith is one of my favorite characters from the comics. I love when he gets to Earth and he doesn't know the concept of a job or rent, so he loses his
bro,
apartment and goes
bro,
homeless.
bro, bro. Doesn't Ben Schwartz star in a fucking TV show where he's an alien that came to Earth and he's like disguised as a fucking human and he's trying to like
Is
learn
he?
how to be a human and shit? Like, isn't I like I don't know. I mean, I hope I got the right actor. I might be embarrassed as fuck right now, but I don't care. It's still a good show and I'm
I'm
promoting it
checking
right
it
now.
out.
But check it
I'm
out.
on his
Let's see.
IMDb.
I might be talking about somebody completely different, bro. I might be talking about bro for check it out.
I don't
Let
know.
me
I know
look
he
up.
voiced Sonic.
Let me check out Ben Schwartz. I gotta see his face so I can recognize who he is.
He played a dude in Parks and Rec, John Ralphio.
Oh, I know who you talking about. I know who you talking about. I know who you talking about, bro. I see him right now here on Google.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Ah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, he definitely Shaped Smith, bro.
hmm for sure. That's gonna be good.
the, the same way you could just look at Seth Rogen and knew instantly he was gonna be Alan the Alien. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how I feel about this one right here. You
Oh,
know,
dude, that's the thing. I don't think we're going to get a lot of Seth Rogen as Alan in season two. I think all that's going to be placated in season three, whenever he's with Omni Man off in space in the Viltrumite prison ship.
no, 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 no. Now hold your horses, because now we about to segue into Thetis, and we can't have Thetis if we don't have Alan. I feel like
I
Alan the
didn't even
Alien.
think. Yeah, yeah, that's the whole thing. That's yeah, the only
Exactly.
person that Thetis
Exactly.
interacts with is Alan, so that's going to be
Exactly.
a lot of Alan
Yeah.
exposition. You're right. I
Yeah,
didn't even think about that.
exactly. Yeah, he's like his second in command. He's the one that go like the whole reason he does what he does is so he can find strong people that they can recruit to the coalition of planets to get ready to call out a fade to the Viltrumites so that they can take them out. You know what I'm saying? So he's actually the one that's going to go back and report to Thetis about Mark that we have a Viltrumite that actually doesn't follow the Viltrumite's laws and shit.
I didn't
And
even
then
think about that.
Thetis,
You're right.
and that's how Thetis gets introduced. And then he's gonna tell him, he's gonna be like, this could actually be the turning point that we need. Like now we can start actually getting ready for the war. Like a Viltrumite, bro, that doesn't like follow Viltrumite rules. Like, bro, this is exactly what we looking for, bro. You know what I'm saying? And that's gonna plant the seeds, for further on into the show to lead up to the Viltrumite War, the introduction of Thrag. You know what I'm saying? Like all that good stuff. You know.
I do believe we're not going to see Thrag for a while, and if we do, it will be very, very little.
Season 3, we're gonna get introduced to Thrag maybe in like the end of the season.
Well, see, the big thing is we know in season three, Mark's going to be the ambassador to Earth for the Viltrumite Empire. Uh, Anissa's going to come and she's going to be like, "I'm the nice, I'm the good cop." Next will
Mm-hmm.
come the bad cop. You don't want the bad cop to come. We're going to see Anissa and we're going to see Conquest in season three for sure. I think if we see Thrag, it'll be like exposition shot by Conquest during the fight, maybe.
Yeah. Uh huh.
I don't think
And
we're going to see
act-
him in. I
and
don't
and
think we're
this
going to
is
see
actually
him for a minute.
and this is actually interesting that I also wanted to mention. There's a pretty cool picture of the actor Jeffrey Dean Morgan, who plays Negan in The Walking Dead. He actually has a picture with two of the Invincible compendiums stacked underneath his hands, and he's leaning on both of them. and I think they're compendiums 2 and 3. So that means that whatever character he's playing takes place in that part of the story, like later on. So my guess is either he's going to be playing the character of Thrag or Conquest, man. He's got to be playing somebody big. Robert Kirkman, he loves Jeffrey Dean Morgan. They got a real close relationship. He did an amazing job as Negan on The Walking Dead, despite
Yeah.
my relationship with that show falling the fuck off. Jesus Christ. But nah, I really like Jeffrey Dean Morgan all the same. He always is in very good projects. I mean, I think he's going to be in the next season of The Boys as well. So I'm delighted to see him join the voice cast of Invincible season 2. We just don't know who he's playing. But like I said, if I was to guess, I say he's going to be somebody big. So it got to be either Conquest or Thrag. Um, I personally would want to see Ron Perlman doing the voice of Conquest. I think that would be the perfect
Yes.
voice. If not Ron Perlman, somebody like Jeremy Irons, somebody that got that real like deep gruff, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Or
I would
you
like
could
that a
get,
lot as
or
well.
you could even get what's his name? Damn, the black dude, man. How I'm gonna forget? Man, he my boy. How I'm gonna forget his name, man? Ah, he did the voice of Tombstone on Spectacular Spider-Man. Oh God, look him up for me.
That's no
Help me
good.
out, y'all. He was on the thing
Tony
when he was.
Todd. Vizen in the comments says Tony Todd.
No, not Tony Todd. Even though that would be amazing too. Oh my God, that would be good. God, that would be good. But
Okay, I'm looking at him.
no. I'm
Keith
talking
David.
about yes, Keith David. Keith
Keith David.
David. Yes, Keith David. We gotta have him in the
It's
show
a
some way.
spectacular Spider-Man. Yeah, yeah. Poppins got it. Keith David.
Yeah,
Also,
we got.
earlier you were talking about that show that you thought Ben Schwartz was on. Dominic says you might have been thinking of Resident Alien with Alan Tudyk.
Yes, Alan Tudyk, bro. I don't know
Yeah.
how I got his. Like, why did I think that
Um,
was Ben Schwartz, bro? Alan Tudyk
so
gonna be in here too somewhere.
Vizen
What?
also said that there are a lot of villains that they could use for different seasons before we even get Thrag. And that's a very good point. Omnipotus, who I'm having a hard time remembering for some reason, and Dinosaurus. I don't think we're going to see
Exactly.
Dinosaurus for a minute because he's very
Yeah,
very
yeah,
late
he's
in the
later
show,
on. He's later
and
on. He's later
he
on.
like his big wrap up doesn't happen until issue 100.
We're
So
definitely gonna see Omnipotus though. Isn't that the guy that like looks fucking metal as hell? Like his head
I'm
is like
looking
a
him up real quick.
skull.
I'm sure it'll come back to me once I see him.
Bro, like the dude has like a sick character design, man. His head is a skull and it's like electrified.
Oh yeah, yeah. I just forgot his
Live as
name.
fuck, right? Don't that shit look dope as hell?
Yes.
And he need a lot of more development because in the comic he literally came out of nowhere. I liked his design and I liked the fight, but
Yeah, he was
the
in
fight,
3 issues.
yeah, the fight started like in the middle of the fight out of nowhere, right? You just saw the new Guardians of the Globe fighting him. You didn't see no build up to the character. You didn't really know where he came from. The fight just started. Like, when we turned the page, we was just in the fight. And then, they finished him off pretty quickly, or I think he like ran away or whatever. And I know he came back later on, but like I said, he was a cool design character, and apparently he was a big enough threat to where all the Guardians had to come together to stop him. So it was clearly epic. We just didn't see much of a fight, and he just didn't have that much time to shine in the comics. So I feel like the show definitely, definitely got to flex their muscles and do a lot with him. Because if they've added more development to smaller characters like Doc Seismic, come on now, come on now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Let me
Um,
see.
and yeah, Poppins, I'm pretty sure it is a Ryan Otley character design as well. Ryan Otley's art, like I love Corey Walker's art as well, but Ryan Otley shines the most throughout the entire series.
I swear, bro. Like Ryan is goaded, bro. Like when his art started taking over the series, I was just like, man, this is beautiful. I felt like I was watching an anime or like an animated series already before it was even animated. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
it's just because the anime, like that's the thing that makes Invincible as good as it is
The
the
art,
is the
man.
well, it's the fact that they had a consistent artists They had like two consistent artists throughout the entire run that worked in tandem together amazingly. Like you could not tell a big difference between issues, but you could still tell their style, and it was still consistent enough that it was more the big fights is where their differences shine the most.
And yeah, you can just see so much detail in the fights as well. That's what I love about it. Like it's a lot of comics, maybe man, with the art. Sometimes maybe the art style can make it a little hard to follow what's going on. What I love about Invincible and Ryan Otley's art is just everything is so clear and detailed. You can just see all the brutality of it, the violence. You feel those hits, man. You really see the damage that's being dealt. The show doesn't display it as much as the comic does, unfortunately, but I still enjoy it all the same, man. And I'm really looking forward to what they do with it. You know, what else we got up in these comments, man? Let's see here. I forgot about the Order storyline in Invincible. We have a lot to go through. Yeah, we definitely do, bruh. You see, the thing about this that I'm really thinking about, similar to what you said earlier, Cody, is how they gonna pay season two. Because with what they did with season one, like you said, they moved a lot of stuff around. The way it happens in the comic, you find out Omni Man, like Invincible, find out Omni Man, the one behind killing the Guardians of the Globe, pretty damn quick. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's not like a long, drawn out investigation throughout the entire season. Like, that was the whole hook for season one. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? In the comic, they got done with that quick. Like, soon as they showed, like, it was actually shocking how fast everything was going. I remember when I first read it, I was just like, what? I was like, I need to breathe, Robert. What are you doing?
Well, that's another thing is in the comic with the comics.
It
When I
was
started reading
going
the
so
comics,
fast, bro.
he
Huh?
wrote. Well, see, around like issue 12 or 13, Robert wrote an issue zero for people who didn't want to read the whole like 12 issues before because he wanted to fast track them into the comic. But if you were like me who wants to read all of it, I started with issue zero to get a grip on the story, and then I started one, two, three, four, five leading up. So you can spoil yourself on accident if you don't know what you're doing, and then not know and not experience it naturally, which is kind of what happened to me, which didn't change how I felt about it. I still ended up really appreciating the comic and loving it, but I was kind of spoiled on it by reading the issue zero before reading it one, two, three, four like I kind of should have.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I already know, man. But it's
Yeah.
good all the same. It's good either way, man. And what I love about it is, the quality of both projects, the comic and the show, being made with love and care. So it's like whatever you don't enjoy in one, you can find it in the other, vice versa. It's enjoyable either way, man. And we got another thing here. Says the Order storyline could play into Titan storyline, which actually makes a lot of sense. The character of Titan is another character that got a lot more focus and development than he ever did in the show. I mean, in the comic book. So that's just another example of how they just give a whole lot more time and focus to minor characters or just characters that didn't have that much to do in the first season. I mean, in the comics. So I'm really looking forward to do what they do with the character of Titan. Follow up his storyline. Follow more into like the crime criminal element, like the underworld. Since Machine Head is now he's taken down. You remember how Titan kind of took over, and you feel me?
Yep.
Isotope was his second in command, and then there was the other crime lords that came to see him, kind of like pay tribute or like set some stuff up. We got to see what happens with that. They showed a little clip of that at the end of season one, setting that stuff up. But in the comic, we don't even really see that much of it. They show a little bit
It's
inside
barely
stories.
shown
Yeah,
after like there's that fight that's put in season one, and but we don't but it's not elaborated on very much. We don't even
yeah,
see
and then
Titan that much throughout the
exactly.
series.
And then way later in the series, out of nowhere, Invincible and Titan see each other again, and then they help each other out. They partner up again. At this point, Titan, he's still a crime lord. He actually has the suit on and stuff, and it's like a callback to when he first carried in when Invincible first carried him because he flies with him again. So I
Yeah,
thought that was actually kind
that's
of
funny.
funny. But yeah, like you said, you don't really see Titan that much in the comic, but they've already shown that they care more about the character in the show, and they're showing more time and development with him here. So we're definitely going to get more with him in season two, and I'm interested to see what they do with him and that Order storyline. So I'm glad you brought that up, man. You know what I'm saying? Like that was very interesting. I enjoyed it. But yeah, guys, I really enjoy y'all spending time with us here tonight, talking about all things Invincible season two, the comic season one, the Adam Eve special, potential other seasons, potential other episode specials, and just overall what we want to see from this property, man. We enjoy it all. That's why we so interested in seeing what else they come up with. Cody, always good to have you on the show, my boy. I love having you here. It was great seeing you again. I'm
Hey man,
glad
I'm
you
always glad to be around.
yeah, bro. I'm glad you enjoyed yourself, man. I definitely did. You know what I'm saying? We got more stuff to set up. Like I said, whenever you're ready to do that video I talked about, trying to figure out what actor wants to play what character, definitely got to set that up. Let me know when you're
For
ready for
sure.
that,
Yeah, I'll
man.
have to do. I will do some research on my own time as well. I'll kind of like try to parse them around to have some bullet points ready and some theories available whenever we start to do that. We can definitely set that up here soon.
Yeah, yeah, we'll have that ready for y'all next time, man. But like I said, I really enjoyed y'all spending y'all time with us today on this stream. Hope y'all having a good day, night, wherever you are, man. Love y'all. Good night, everybody. Until next time, peace.
Peace out.